Hi, I'm Autumn, and I'd like to share with you the truth about adoption. Now let's be honest. When you hear the word orphanage, adoption, or adoptee, I bet you feel pity, which means to feel sorry for someone who is suffering. Well, this is totally not what I'm going for, because here's a mind-blowing fact. Adoption is not a bad thing. It's actually 100% positive for both kids and parents, because children who don't have a home get one, and couples who want to start a family can do that. Okay, so people always tell me, those aren't your real parents. And I say, well, oops, are they fake? So I want to show you something. Can you see the difference between real and fake? Well, the thing is that for me, a real parent is someone who loves you and takes care of you and always has your back. You don't have to be biologically related to them to be part of their family. Oh, and my sister isn't fake either. And I don't live with strangers. You see, people always say, Autumn, are you used to living with strangers? And I always say that I don't live with strangers because I know my parents very well. I've lived with them for basically my whole life, and they don't wear those creepy masks. And they're definitely not strangers. And come on, we live in the 21st century. I think that families are made in all kinds of different ways, and that if we can all live on the same planet together, that means that if we can love and support one another, then anybody can be a family together, and no blood relation is necessary. So when I was about a year old, I was at the grocery store with my dad, and he was pushing me in the cart, and everything was fine. And it's really obvious that I'm adopted because I look so different from my parents. And so this old lady came walking up to my dad, and she looked at him, and she's like, "Where did you get her?" And my dad said, "Aisle 14. I think he was a little offended by the question. You see, if you want to ask a parent about their child's adoption agency, then you should feel free to do so. But just make sure that you're specific with your question. And there's one thing that I took away from this situation, and that is that if someone asks you a question that you don't particularly like or that annoys you, I think it's a good idea to deal with it with humor instead of anger. Speaking of questions, here are some things you should probably not say to an adopted kid. Like, for example, why did they give you up? Well, I don't know. And a lot of kids, like myself, don't know why we were given up. But some adoptees do know, but they might not want to share that information because it's pretty personal. Next, I feel sorry for you. I get this all the time. People are always telling me how sorry they are for me. Well, there's no need to feel sorry for me because I'm the same as any of you. I'm just as close to my parents as any biologically related kid would be, and there's no need to feel sorry for me. But some adoptees do feel sad about their adoption, and there's nothing wrong with that, but saying you feel sorry for them might make them feel worse. Next, where are your real parents? Remember these guys? My parents are real. Remember, no fake parents. Oh, I forgot to say, no such thing as fake parents. I don't know if I already said this actually, but I doubt that any of your parents were made with any kind of synthetic material. So there's no such thing as fake parents. So that means that my parents are real, and they're probably around town somewhere. And do you ever wish you weren't adopted? Well, no, I never have wished that I wasn't adopted because nothing bad ever came of it, and I'm fine with it. But some kids might feel funny about being adopted, so asking them if they wish they weren't might make them feel like they weren't. So that's probably not a good idea because they can't change that. And my dream is for people to see adoption in a positive light because it helps children find their forever families and brings people happiness. When I was little, I loved this picture book called Little Miss Spider by David Kirk, and on the last page it says, "For finding your mother, there's one certain test. You must look for the creature who loves you the best." I love this because it's true. Your mother, your parents, your family are people that love you the best. And if you weren't biologically related to them, that wouldn't change a thing. Thank you.